Inspiration, where does it come from? For me, it came in the form of these two beautiful Lucy Ree pots. I was a student in Stoke in the mid-60s and studying mainly painting with a minor interest in pottery. But I took a trip to St Ives and I found these two pots in a gallery. And I just loved them. I just, so much so that I had to buy them, and that was the end of the holiday because it was about a week's pay went into buying those. But they were, they're so organic. They look as if they've grown. They don't look as if somebody's made them. But at the same time, of course, you know someone's made them. So I felt that if I did more pottery rather than more painting, maybe that's the kind of thing I could do. But when I started, of course, I didn't have anything like enough skill to come anywhere near that. That was going to take years to get to that sort of level. But the first things I made were these fairly large pots. This one's about 56 years old now, I think, and it's been in the garden for 50 years at least. So it's getting a bit battered. But it had a kind of a wonky presence anyway. I thought that gave it a sort of an organic quality rather like the Lucy Ree pots. And I was making these small ones at the same time. These are sort of hand built and press molded. And whilst I was doing those, I was learning to throw tableware on the potter's wheel. And I liked them, the pots that I made on the wheel, to be fairly crisp and tight and mechanical. So a bit of a dilemma really, because I wanted to bring those two elements together. And it did take a while, but eventually I got something like this. And this is a small press moulded pot from the early 70s, and it's got the sort of a seashell-like quality to it, but it's quite a precise form. It hasn't got the kind of lumpy organic quality that the early pots had. And when I was in St Ives, just by coincidence, I found these seashells in a gift shop. And I'd never seen anything like that before, coming from a fairly sheltered urban industrial background. Hardly ever been to the sea. Not that these came out of the sea, of course, but well, not around this country anyway. But what did come out of the sea was this, which I found on the beach there. And this is such a wonderful thing. It's so different from these very preserved, crisp, neat, tidy things, because nature's taking it back again. It's slowly crumbling and disappearing and turning back to dust. And so I found that kind of thing very interesting as well. Also, I developed this interest in rust, and I suppose a bit like that seashell, nature's taking it back again. It's turning to dust in my hands at the moment. But what I found interesting about this was the idea of a substructure with small parts on it. And that led, I need to be more careful with those Lucy Ree pots, that led through to, after many years of course and many experiments, into more sculptural pieces like this. And well, you can see the rust on that one. It's taken me a while to just get that to really look like rust, but I'm a bit slow with developing glazes. And the holes in those come from a very, very direct reference, which I can show you if I hold that to the light. You see the holes in the abalone shell. That's a direct sort of pinch, and went into those to make them look like they were hollow. These pots as well, very much inspired by organic qualities and nature taking back qualities that you find in rust. And some of these are very recent too, very different kinds of things. These are very much inspired by some of the tin toys I've collected through my life. And I could never quite see how the tin toys came into them, and how I could ever really use that as a source of inspiration. And I don't think I ever did. I think I just liked them. But now, just looking at this pot and looking at this tin plate toy, I can see there's a lot of links. So it's interesting how source material, sources of inspiration, can take a long time to generate and to come into the work. And so I hope. I've lost it at the end. What's wrong with you? I hope you find inspiration too. I hope you have good luck with your inspiration and finding inspiration. You killed it though.